Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC. Liverpool fans, buckle up. Big headlines are breaking. From a fresh Real Madrid problem and Kylian Mbappe's worrying hint, to Arne Slot under fire and transfer battles heating up, there's plenty to unpack. Plus, we'll look at Man City's next fixtures and what it means for the Premier League title race. Stay tuned, smash that like, hit subscribe, and let's dive into all the drama surrounding our beloved Liverpool FC. Liverpool face new Real Madrid problem as Kylian Mbappe highlights concern Liverpool face the biggest test of their season when they entertain Real Madrid in the Champions League on Tuesday. Here were arguably two abiding memories from the last time. Liverpool and Real Madrid crossed swords 12 months ago, and Kylian Mbappe found himself on the receiving end of both. The first saw him wiped out by a strong sliding challenge from Connor Bradley that prompted raucous cheers from the Anfield crowd and a subsequent raft of memes and T-shirts celebrating the tackle. Then, in the second half, after Andy Robertson had conceded a soft penalty, Mbappe saw his spot kick saved by stand-in Liverpool goalkeeper Eamon Kelleher as the Reds strolled to an impressive 2-0 triumph, their first victory over the European Super League advocates in more than 15 years, having previously been on the losing side on Merseyside despite scoring in Paris. Saint-Germain's 3-2 Champions League defeat in 2018. Mbappe would be forgiven for approaching his latest visit with trepidation. Liverpool, though, will be aware they will be facing a very different forward to the one that floundered in the heat of the Anfield atmosphere last November. Blank that evening left Mbappe having scored 9 goals in his first 18 appearances for Real Madrid. While hardly a cause for concern, such were the levels of expectation following his arrival that many observers in Spain were beginning to question whether he was suitable for the Bernabeu outfit. The following year has suggested very much in the affirmative. Mbappe went on to notch 35 more goals in 41 appearances for Real last season, and this term has 18 in just 14 appearances. For club and country, the France international has failed to score in only 4 of his last 28 appearances. While the spotlight will understandably be on the return of Trent Alexander-Arnold and, to a lesser extent, his close friend Jude Bellingham, and Vinicius Jr., who has courted controversy of late in Madrid but scored the Champions League final winner against Liverpool 3 years ago, it is Mbappe who will be man of which the Reds should be most wary. Time will tell how many goals he scores, said Real Madrid coach Xabi Alonso after Mbappe netted twice more in the weekend 4-0 La Liga win over Valencia. He has that knack for finding the net and being in the right place. He's going to score a lot of goals. I don't know how many, but I have a feeling he's going to score a lot this season. By contrast, in their last 28 games, Liverpool have kept only 5 clean sheets, although they ended a run of 10 without a shutout in Saturday evening's 2-0 Premier League win over Aston Villa, and there's every chance the defense that lined up against Real Madrid a year ago will again be asked to shut out the Spanish side, given the same quartet started against Villa. Should Bradley feature in the XI, it would remarkably be the first time since that Madrid game he will have started 2 club games inside 4 days, highlighting both his injury problems and the concerns that remain over his durability. Indeed, it was with minutes remaining in that clash that the Northern Irishman picked up a hamstring injury that kept him out until the new year. And Ibrahima Konate also ended the game crocked when caught by Real substitute Endrick and was out for an identical period. As last year, Alisson Becker is again sidelined, and while Kelleher has now departed, his replacement, Georgi Mamardashvili, regularly clashed with Real Madrid during his time with Valencia, most recently in April when he saved a Vinicius Jr. penalty in a 2-1 win at the Bernabeu. Liverpool had a point to prove at Anfield last November. This time, though, they must beware Mbappe feeling likewise. Their defense is set for its biggest test of the campaign. Arne Slot accused of clutching at straws by Man Utd cult. Hero Liverpool beat Aston Villa on Saturday, but now needs to back that up with positive results against Real Madrid in the Champions League and Man City in the Premier League. Former Manchester United defender Phil Jones has claimed that Liverpool is clutching at straws and still has several issues to resolve after a tricky run of results. Speaking before the Reds beat Aston Villa in the Premier League on Saturday to earn just a second win in 8 games. The ex-England international outlined his thoughts on what Arne Slot has to fix. Goals from Mohamed Salah and Ryan Gravenberch then secured a dominant victory for Liverpool against Unai Emery's men. Aston Villa did, though, play into the Reds' hands and didn't play direct soccer or make much use of long throws. I'm all for managers defending themselves, absolutely. You've got to come out fighting and you've got to stick up for the lads in the dressing room, Jones said on BBC Radio 5 Live. But when you're talking about teams playing direct, for me he's clutching at straws a little bit. Teams do it. Teams don't go to Anfield and open up because they know what they're up against, so they'd be foolish to do that. But I see a vulnerability defensively with Liverpool at the minute. Every time the ball goes in the box, it looks like a panic. Slot was pleased with how his side performed. Salah and Alexis Mac Allister were both much improved, while Dominic Szoboszlai impressed again and put in a strong showing. I think you always feel pressure if you are at Liverpool, Slot said in his post-match press conference. If you are leading the table with 15 games to go, you feel pressure. And if you are in a run of form that we were in, you feel the pressure. I've always felt the support of the fans as long as I'm here. Also, in the recent results, I have never felt that there was never anything less than it was before. I think they were there for me, but they were not only there for me, they were there for the team tonight as well. I think they were so supportive, and that can have a big impact. Because we've played many away games, so we had poor results. I'm completely aware of that. But we had to play a lot of aways where the fans still help us. You cannot compare that to a home game under the lights at Anfield. It's something what I would take 10 out of 10 times if I have to play a game of football. Club chief determined to stop Liverpool from signing Marc Guehi, alternative. Liverpool has been linked with a move for Bayern Munich defender Dayot Upamecano, viewed as a potential alternative to Marc Guehi, with both players out of contract. Next summer, Bayern Munich sporting director Max Eberl has doubled down on the club's determination to tie down Dayot Upamecano to fresh terms, despite growing speculation surrounding Liverpool's interest in the France international. With just over a year remaining on his current deal, the Bundesliga team is preparing for a battle to keep hold of its center-back. Liverpool has been mentioned as a possible admirer of the former RB Leipzig defender, particularly given the uncertainty surrounding the team's own defensive options, with Ibrahima Konaté's contract situation also requiring attention. Upamecano has established himself as a key figure in Vincent Kompany's team, as Bayern chases down another Bundesliga title, prompting the club to accelerate contract discussions. The Reds' failed summer pursuit of Marc Guehi and Giovanni Leone's long-term knee injury have only heightened their requirement for defensive additions. However, reports suggest that Bayern is among the European heavyweights monitoring Guehi. Eberl considers Upamecano among the finest defenders on the planet and is making his contract extension a top priority. Upa has developed into one of the best center-backs in the world, he told Sky Germany. We are working and making sure we do everything we can to make Dayot Upamecano sign a new contract. This marks another occasion where the Bayern sporting director has emphasized the importance of reaching terms with Upamecano. Following their victory in Der Klassiker, Eberl described the contract extension as a big issue and a critical matter requiring resolution. He said, "We have very good central defenders in Kim Min-jae, Jonah Tah, and Upa. That's the big issue for us, Upamecano's extension. That's paramount for us. If these issues change, we'll look at the market." Liverpool has been wrestling with its own defensive challenges this season, currently sitting 7 points behind Premier League leader Arsenal. Nevertheless, the Reds managed to end their losing run with a 2-0 triumph over Aston Villa on Saturday, securing their first clean sheet since September 14th. Liverpool's summer acquisitions have found it difficult to make an immediate impact following the Anfield shakeup, but it remains unclear whether the Reds will enter the winter transfer window seeking additional reinforcements. Slot commented after the Villa victory. "Happy with the result, with the performance and what I saw today, not only from the players but also the support we got from the fans, was what we needed today. Maybe we were a bit more on the lucky side. than we've been in the last few weeks, where, in my opinion, we were also unlucky. So the mistake of their goalkeeper and the deflection led to 2 of our goals. Man City's next 5 fixtures compared to Arsenal and Liverpool after title race drama. Manchester City beat Bournemouth 3-1 on Sunday evening to move to within 6 points of the Premier League leaders. Arsenal, with Liverpool a further point back in third, Manchester City have climbed to second place in the Premier League table after a 3-1 win over Bournemouth on Sunday evening. A double from Erling Haaland and a Nico O'Reilly goal were enough to counteract Tyler Adams' first-half strike, earning Pep Guardiola's side a hard-earned 3 points at the Etihad Stadium. The outcome brings City within 6 points of league frontrunners Arsenal, while Liverpool are just 1 point behind in third. Bournemouth, on the other hand, slipped to fourth as Andoni Iraola endures only his second league loss of the season. City have been in this position before. During the 2022-23 season, they overcame an 8-point gap to snatch the title from Arsenal. And with all 3 title contenders now occupying the top spots, the competition looks set to intensify once more. Man City's next 5 Premier League fixtures. City's forthcoming schedule kicks off with 2 significant challenges. They'll host Liverpool at the Etihad before heading to St. James's Park to take on Newcastle. Leeds United then travel to Manchester before the month of December begins, with a midweek trip to Fulham and a home match against Sunderland. Speaking to reporters after losing to Aston Villa last weekend, Guardiola downplayed concerns that his side are out of the title race. The Man City boss said, "I was worried before the international break when we were 14th in the table, and they, Liverpool, were 6 or 7 points in front." Arsenal's next 5 Premier League fixtures. Arsenal maintained their impressive run with a 2-0 triumph over Burnley, marking their 7th win on the trot without conceding a goal. The Gunners now face a challenging trip to Sunderland, followed by London derbies against Tottenham and Chelsea. They then welcome Brentford at home before heading to the Midlands to take on Unai Emery's Aston Villa. Speaking to reporters on Friday, Arteta was asked if he encourages his players to talk about winning the Premier League. "We have to focus on the journey and what we have to do every single day," said the Arsenal boss. "Fixing the outcome, of course, we want to win it, and the preparation is towards that. Great. And we have set all the protocols, processes, ambitions, everything. Now you have to focus on what you have to do. If not, you get distracted with the rest, and I don't want any of that around the team." Liverpool's next 5 Premier League fixtures. The Reds bounced back to form with a 2-0 victory over Aston Villa on Saturday evening. Next up for Arne Slot's side is a crucial title showdown with City before they host Nottingham Forest. A journey to West Ham is next on the agenda, capped off by encounters with newly promoted Sunderland and Leeds.